Go ahead, it's fine. Yep, you're at the Wren and Vale.
And I would say the biggest takeaways from these webinars so far, obviously I've learned about myself some with the color personalities and my coworkers.
Good.
Also, just learning some good talking points. I'm very, very new to reservations, so just learning some good talking points and what to say and what not to say, um, just to get a successful sale.
Thanks, Kimberly. Who'd like to go next? Or Kimberly, why don't you choose who gets to talk next? Ah,
Uh, I can go. I'm Emmanuel Mendoza. I'm also from the Granny at Bell. I have learned a lot on this experience, and I do not have much experience in hospitality, but I have learned a lot as well as Kimberly, obviously, on my personality. Also identifying our guests and what exactly are they looking for and what type of personality is, so I can make their experience more enjoyable and faster, and try to promote a possible sale. So it's been very informative these past two webinars, and I'm very excited to learn even more.
thank you. So I think that leaves Jessa.
Hi, my name is Jessa. I'm here at Snowmass Mountain Lodging. So far, I've learned a lot about selling and sales strategy, and the 10 relationship breakers was very important, as well as how to communicate with the different types of colors of communicators, and how the guests, it made me pretty much determine what type of communicators each guests are when we gave the examples for last week. So
Nice. Okay. Thanks. Jamie, anything to add since we're meeting you for the first time?
Right. Well, as everyone knows, I'm from Vail Spa here in Vail. Um, I have two objectives for this lesson. One is to learn to get guests excited for staying with us without worrying about the hassle of cost and pretty much anything else. And then I'm also here to learn about closing and actually making more reservations.
Okay. Good. Good. Well, you're jumping in at a good time because between today and tomorrow, I think we're going to set you up very well for that closing piece. As you know, the first half was really about how we build a relationship with the guest, and the second half is how we create value, ask for the sale, and close. So as we continue into this series, you'll see that we still have quite a bit of work to do, and we have a short amount of time to do it. So without further ado, let's start with a little bit of a warm up. And what I'd like is all of you to please look at the words below. Say the color, but not the word. See if you can do that. You can do it out loud or in your head. Say the color you see, but not the word.
Harder than it seems. Maybe just for me. I don't know.
Whew, it is difficult.
So, Yolanda, just for entertainment purposes,
Oh, sure.
how about out loud? Look at the colors below and say the color, but not the word. Go ahead.
Why is this so hard for me?
I know.
I'm going to start
And
and
go.
go left to right. So
Okay.
orange, blue, green, purple, yellow, blue, maybe? Green, red, blue,
Okay. I'll go ahead and reset that.
yellow, purple, black.
Oh, so painful. So
impressive.
You think it's
I know.
I still had to read it and then look at it at the same time.
Yes. Yes. So our right brain is trying to say the color, but our left brain is insisting on saying that actual word. And there's a reason for that, because each lobe of your brain is going to function to process different kinds of information, right? The left brain is going to process speech. time, and sequential information. And your right brain is recognizing the pictures and the faces and the spatial concepts. So to get the two to work and to join both hemispheres at the same time, it requires a lot of work. So this is an appropriate time to be talking about how both the left and the right brain work in sales, because obviously you need both to have a successful sale occur. So just take a stab for a second and think about what it is that your left brain might be trying to do whenever you're communicating with the guest versus what your right brain might be trying to do. Any guesses? What is your left brain doing when you're talking with a guest on the phone? If they're thinking of things like, if it's thinking of things like speech and time and sequential information, what's your left brain thinking about?
The dates that pretty much the guest would like, all the basic things that we ask the guest, and then that's when the guest has a different answer, and then it goes to a different path, pretty much.
Yes. So what is your right brain doing that whole time?
Taking the information from what the guest is saying and allowing to be more flexible with what they are giving information to us.
Okay. So left brain is going, what do I know about this guest? What issues might this guest be facing, or what issues might get in the way of this guest making this reservation? Is there more than one person that's involved in this sales process? This side's going, okay, what word pictures can I use to describe Snowmass Mountain Lodging? What are some brochures or website illustrations or YouTube videos, anything? What's available? What resources are available to me to help me paint that picture? What are some testimonials that I might want to be pulling out to have that conversation? Do we have the invitation to preview this particular lodging option? I'm thinking specifically of Vail Spa, because you have some really nice individual descriptions of each lodging option. Do you have it set up to be visually inviting? And what emotions are you trying to portray in your voice patterns as well as through using those visual aids? So they both have to work in concert in order for value to be truly conveyed the way that we want to. So today, what I want to be able to give you are a few different things. Obviously, we have some pickup to do from last week, but then building on top of that, giving you PEAK qualifying questions, and that's an acronym for problems and situation questions, environment questions, advantages questions, and keys to the sale questions, so that your right and your left hemispheres are working to come up with the right questions so you get the right answers and you know what kind of value that you need to be creating. I want to also be able to give you the opportunity to create some unique benefit statements that are going to truly make the value for each type of guest. This is what's going to help you, Jessa. I'm thinking back to what you said last Thursday. This is one of the things that's going to help you to make sure that every call doesn't sound the same all the time and it's not boring for you.
Oh, yay.
Oh, goody. Yeah. So the more strategic we can be, and I was so thrilled to hear you use the word strategy when you were saying that's one of the takeaways that you've gotten so far. This is one of the things that I hope that you're going to be able to use that's going to help you to make sure that that stays spicy. And then continue to use those advanced strategies to leverage your communication style that you know and get what you want out of conversations, gaining a level of commitment. Without that level of commitment, you cannot come to any sort of a direct close when we get into that on Thursday. Does that sound like a plan for today?
Yes.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Fabulous. So to prepare for today, hopefully we've gotten to this point. You've reviewed your workbook pages 6 through 10. You've also reviewed your destination's Salesforce process. And I asked you to highlight the qualifying questions that you could find within your unique process. So I'm going to ask you to share those here in a little bit. I also asked you to start preparing your talking points on page 8. So maybe you've started to really think about the things that sets your location apart. And so I want you to get thinking about that. And I asked you to be listening generously to your guests. So either in person or over the phone, what is their style? How were you doing with eliminating relationship breakers? Were you present? Did you find yourself zoning out or waiting? And were you using those generous listening techniques to get you back here? So let's start from the bottom. How did you do in the generous listening department over the past 5 days if you got a chance to work at all? Who'd like to begin? Do I have to pick on somebody? Jessa.
Hi.
Hey.
So I actually was more conscious this past few days with how I speak on the phone. Usually, you just take a reservation and make the sale. But now it's more of like asking how their day was and the talking points of when with the Salesforce process. As I was looking at it, it was more helpful when making a reservation because there are things that you think you know, and then when you're on the phone, you kind of just space out and you forget to say the certain points that are important, you know? So I think the welcoming them back is always a good thing that we forget, that we tend to forget, that I personally forget because you tend to just, oh, it's another person who just will make the reservation anyway. So welcoming them back is a completely different feel as you begin the reservation call.
Yep, so true. Who are our guests? If you could, in a nutshell, sort of summarize the type of guests that you receive and not where they come from, like, well, we have international guests or whatever. Well, tell me about the people themselves. Who are they? What are they? What are some characteristics that might describe them as a collective? Thoughts? What do you have?
Business owners.
Okay, business owners. They have money.
They
Family.
do.
Business owner that have a lot of family.
Great. So they're affluent. They are family focused. What else are they?
I think at the Ren, no.
At the Ren?
They are retired, I guess is the way to say it.
Okay.
A lot of retired people here.
What else?
We get a lot of Australians and Brazilians in our in Snowmass Mountain Lodging anyway. Most of them are how do you say this? They're tailored to the type of people that we cater to. That we have a lot of Australians and they need a dryer and washer inside the unit. So that type of thing, you know, they're very. I need my laundry inside where I live is pretty much that type of.
I would venture to say for all three of your locations, expectations are high.
Hey, how
Definitely.
are you?
They're very high. And so things that we know about your guests, they are advanced in terms of traveling. They're advanced in terms of their ability, either skiing ability, mountain biking ability, outdoor activity ability, typically. They may be retired, but they're more active than their neighbors are at home. They're fashionable, typically, although some of them you kind of wonder where they ever got that outfit. But typically speaking, they have a stronger sense of taste, a stronger sense of style than probably the average person might. They're very passionate about mountain sports in general. Now, this comes up for us specifically in the summertime in the form of a few different things. One is you're going to see more front rangers in the summertime. We're starting to see more of the United States traveler, though, as well toward mountain destinations, especially those hotter regions like Texas, because of the fact that it's cooler. And that's always been a trend, but we're seeing it more and more now from not just Texas. It's almost from everywhere. And I don't know, I mean, you might attribute that to global climate change, or you might just attribute that to having an excellent Colorado Tourism Board that does a good job of getting you on the map. Either way, we're seeing more and more people flying there just for summer travel. So that was one of the reasons why this was so important. These guests that you see are now becoming the ones that they might come for a winter, but then they keep coming back for the summer because the summers are just so awesome up in the mountains. East Coast travelers to you do tend to spend, shop, dine, stay more than West Coast travelers will. Almost all of them own some sort of a electronic device, a smartphone, tablet. 98% of them are traveling with at least one device. 55% are traveling with more than one device. They do tend to take on average 3.8 mean trips a year. So that means that they have seen other places. They shop it around. They compare you to others. So all of this, I think, is helpful to know. I think it's also helpful to know that 75% of them are six-figure earners right now, and 3/5 of them are over the age of 35. So when we know this much about them, we know that they're already coming well informed. So what are they calling you for? Why are they calling you?
If I may, Erica, we've had some joiners, by the way. Joan and Kate have joined.
Hi, Joan and Kate. Welcome.
Thank you. Sorry we're late.
We're glad you're here. This is Joan and Kate from Moving Mountains Chalets in Steamboat Springs. So we have a whole gang here already. Welcome, welcome. We're glad you're here.
No on the camera. Okay, thanks. Great to see you guys.
Thank you. So why are these guests calling you? What is it that they want? Because it seems like they're so well informed. They have so much access to information. What value are you providing?
A relationship with the guest.
Okay.
And a person to talk to actually speak with and ask questions and directly get answers.
Okay. Anything else you think? Yes, go ahead.
We have the best knowledge of each individual resident. Like, especially here at Vail Spa, everything's individually decorated and, everybody's different. So you have to find the right fit for them, and we're the best people to do that.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Your guests don't know what they don't know. Every guest. And that's one of the reasons why they're calling, is because they're going, tell me what I don't know. So if we're thinking and flipping that script in our head a little bit psychologically and saying, okay, my job is to find out what they do know and find out what they don't know and fill in that blank, instead of, what are your dates? How many in your party? Yeah, 321's available. Do you want to book that? Then you're adding value, and guests will make time for you, and you'll ask for a different commitment. So you bridge that gap and you connect people to your destination in a meaningful way when you know that they don't know things, and your goal is to find out what they don't know. And you bridge that gap between what they want or what they think they want and what they're really going to get. So they get connected to the Vail culture, and they get connected to the Steamboat culture through you and through the relationship with you. They get connected to that genuine human experience that defines the flavor of your destination. So when you have the right questions in place, you can make that happen. So let's do an exercise. Get a blank piece of paper, if you would, please. I want to start talking about qualifying. Our job, if our guests don't know what they don't know, is for us to really find their vision. And in finding their vision, we need to really have a good set of qualifying questions. So I want us to start thinking about just asking questions in and of itself, and what you need to ask, why you need to ask, how you need to ask. But to start, let's just do something kind of fun and interesting. So I gave Yolanda a picture of a house, and it's just the house the way it looks from the street, okay? And all of you are going to be architects, and you have a blank piece of paper right now. Yolanda is your prospective client, and your job is going to be to get as close as you can to creating her dream house. So even though she has a picture, just assume that she's describing for you what she wants her dream house to look like, okay? So I'm going to give you all an opportunity to ask as many questions as you want, And in a period of a minute, you get to ask your questions, and then you'll have 2 minutes to draw. And let's see what kind of progress we can actually make. So I'll have the clock begin whenever you're ready. But before we start, what questions can I answer for you before I get you started here? You all have pen and paper handy?
Yes.
Okay. So the only rule I've given to Yolanda is that she may only answer the question that she is asked. Good?
Okay.
Okay, I'm giving you 1 minute, starting now.
What is the house made of, brick or wood?
There's brick and a little bit of other material.
How many levels is the house?
Say that again.
How many levels is the house?
2.
Is there a yard? And,
There is a bit of a front yard, yes.
and a garage?
No.
What is the most important feature of the house?
Most important feature?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's subjective to me.
That's okay, you can answer that.
I like the fireplace.
What color would you like your
Yolanda.
house to be?
My house is a shade of browns. And Eman, did you have one?
So you have any family, Yolanda? How many kids?
I could probably fit about 4 to 5 kids in this house.
4 to 5 kids, so a 6-bedroom house will be perfect for you then, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I'm letting you go over a little more. 20 seconds to ask your final questions before you feel ready to draw this house.
Are there any trees?
Yes. There are a bunch of trees.
What's the perfect climate for this house? Is it more of a beach house or a mountain house where snow slides off the roof?
I would say it's a that's a good question. You probably would my house would be somewhere where it could snow.
Did you want a balcony anywhere in your house, like a terrace?
I don't have a balcony.
Okay, one more question and then you get to draw. One more. Who has the last question? No more questions. Okay, so you have 2 minutes to draw. Let's see what you come up with in 2 minutes.
If you guys are any kind of artist like I am, it's just 4 little lines with one door in the middle and a squiggle for a fireplace, right? Flower outside, not proportionately sized to the rest of the house. A stick figure kid in the front yard.
Pretty much what we have. I know. Casey.
Who thinks they have any idea what this house really looks like?
That's a hard one.
I'll give you 30 more seconds to draw. And for those of you that do have camera capability, I'd love to see what you came up with.
Yeah.
Good, because mine's terrible.
Okay, 15 seconds. Okay, that's time. That's time. All right, so let's see. How close did you get to Yolanda's picture? How close did it look to that?
I don't know if you can see mine very well, but I did kind of like a floor plan, and then I put the kitchen and a living room in one, and then a long hallway, and then all the bedrooms off that hallway, and then that's the
Ew.
picture of the house.
Jamie, I
Pretty
love that you
good.
did like this bust out the floor plan in the back of the picture.
Man,
Great.
Yeah.
way better than my stick-figure house I was drawing in my mind.
So who got closest to this picture, would you say? How did you do, Kate?
I mean, I think I got a angled roof line and a chimney on the side and some trees all around. You know, I was really listening.
Jessa. Oh, I see your trees, Jessa. Yes. Still on mute. Oh, look at you. You got your house and your trees. All right. Cute little doors. I love it. Okay, so good job, architects. If you got close to this, think of the questions that got you closest to it. What were those questions? What was your favorite question that gave you the most meat?
I think the person that asked, for me, it was the person that asked the construction if it was brick or stone or wood. And when she answered a combination, I mean, just from first appearances, it's exactly all those things.
Yeah, definitely.
And the trees as well.
The
'Cause
trees.
There's so many trees.
Right. So you start filling in the blanks a little bit, right? Left brain and right brain start coming together and organizing things. And you're going, okay, I'm visualizing.
I thought one of the very smart questions to ask was, is this more of a house that you would see in a warm climate or a cool climate? And I said, well, there's a chimney and it could be where there's snow. I liked that question.
Yes. And thank you for that, Joan. And Jamie, what's the most important feature? Also, good questions.
Great question.
So this exercise is getting both the hemispheres of your brain thinking and organizing as well. And sometimes when we're on a very short sales call, it's not easy to synthesize information. We don't have 2+ minutes to have this level of conversation, so we need to be really efficient with how we ask questions. So having an effective combination of open and closed-ended questions will help you to shorten your time. So Yolanda, if I were your architect, I would say first and foremost, okay, what style of house are you envisioning? And what would you have told me?
Tudor.
Awesome. If I would have been able to get that from her, that would have been able to make my brain go so much faster, so much farther. And so this is the idea of asking a good, effective, open-ended question so that she can give me as much information as she wants to give me. This is like saying, well, tell me about this vacation. What's going on? What are your plans? What's bringing you to Steamboat? If an architect asked a guest or asked a prospective client, hey, when do you want the house? Is that a good qualifying question that's going to help me to paint a picture for that guest? No. So that is the same as us saying, what are your dates? So I don't see that as a strong enough qualifying question that's going to give you what you need. And that's why I want to give you kind of a better structure for how you do that. And hopefully you were able to take a look at the open and closed-ended questions that you have as part of your sales process that perhaps might start getting your brain flowing on what kind of answers you might end up getting as well. So I asked you to take a look at your Salesforce process, and we sent one to each of you that was rather unique to your own location. And I asked you to highlight some of those qualifying questions that you saw. Open-ended questions would be the ones that give you the free-flowing answer, the open-ended answer. So how often does your family take a vacation together? How familiar are you with Steamboat? What's bringing you to Vail this year? Tell me a little bit about your party. When would you like to come and who's coming with you? Closed-ended questions are going to be those short questions that are aimed to control a conversation. Is this your first time to Vail for spring break? Do you have any residences that you would like me to describe? Can I make a recommendation? Are you familiar with Beaver Creek or Vail or Steamboat? Have your friends given you any ideas for what they're hoping to find? So the quality of answer you're going to get is different. You need a combination of both so that you get the right answers. So give me some of the questions that you highlighted on your own Salesforce processes. What did you highlight? Let's start with Kimberly and Eman.
What is interesting to you in Vail? What is the purpose of your visit?
Good. Okay. And how do we ask this in a way that guests aren't going to be like skiing or mountain biking? How can we ask that in a way that's really like, I care, I want to know? What's a way that we can change that up a little bit so that we're getting a quality answer?
What fun activities do you have planned?
Okay, what fun activities do you have planned? Kimberly, you said something else too.
I was just going to say, if there are any events going on, you can mention the events themselves and be like, are you here for the mountain biking race or whatever?
The GoPros.
Or the GoPro series. Or...
Great. Now, is that an open-ended or a closed-ended question that you just asked, Kimberly? That's right, closed. Awesome. Give me another one that, let's say you highlighted, either Joan or Kate. Did you highlight any on your Salesforce process?
We like to find out, what makes a great vacation for our family. So tell us about your last great ski vacation, because we offer more than just lodging here. And so ideally, before we get off the phone, we either have included a variety of other add-ons, or we've at least got a strong lead for a follow-up for the other add-ons.
Perfect.
So if they want catering and, like private chef or transportation while they're here or whatever, we want to know that while we're on the phone with them.
Absolutely. And you want to create a conversation that makes room to be able to talk about catered chalet as well.
Right.
What I like as well about the way you asked it was that you are just automatically assuming that you want to better or best their last great ski vacation. So you're subliminally raising the bar for them and going, oh, okay, so your product will elevate where I've already been. And that's what guests want when they pay the amount of money that they pay to stay at a place like Moving Mountains. So I love that. Jamie, did you have one in particular from your Salesforce process that you highlighted?
Have you been here before? It's kind of an important one for us because we give additional discounts to repeat guests.
Good. So it has even more value just from a cost or a negotiating standpoint as well. Increasing the likelihood to convert that call into a sale. So good closed-ended question that helps to control the conversation a little bit too. Their answer is going to define which direction you're going to go. So we take this to another level here, and I'm giving you kind of a different way to look at it. When we're thinking about that left brain and that right brain conversation and coming up with the right kinds of questions, I want to give you this peak qualifying strategy. We're going to refer specifically to a page in your workbook. if I can find that. And I believe is it page 8?
Lost our
The upside down
presentation.
triangle.
Thanks.
Page 6. Thank you. Yes, not the upside down triangle. It would be this one. So,
Erica,
yes.
presentation.
Oh, it's all gone, huh? Thank you.
Sure.
Is this better?
Much
Coming.
better.
There we are.
Yay. Getting better. Getting better. Great. So the P qualifying strategy suggests that all of those qualifying questions on your Salesforce process, there's sort of a design to them. And Jessa, back to you. There's a strategy associated with asking those questions. 4 different kinds of questions. We have our P, problems, and situation questions. These are supposed to help you to determine implicit and explicit needs for context. So this could be a question that pertains to dates or number in the party, or what is bringing them to Vail for this particular trip. It could be a question, those are just some loose examples, but we're going to tighten those up here in a second. The second section is envisioning questions. And I would put Joan's question into that category. An envisioning question is one that's going to help you reveal what the desired experience is. So if a guest is telling you about their last great ski vacation, you're starting to get a vibe for what you could offer that might even make this year better than their last one, or summer vacation, depending on where they went, right? Advantage questions. So advantage questions are the ones that reveal feelings that the guest wants in the sale. So it's either going to reveal positive feelings we want them to have, or it will reveal negative feelings we want them to avoid. So think of summer vacation and think of positive feelings we want guests to have during a summer vacation. What are positive feelings we want guests to have during a summer vacation?
There's a lot more trails or more biking trails that are open and being made.
Okay. So some more freedom, some more access. We want them to have some more flexibility. We want them to avoid the hassle of having to pack a lot of gear. You don't need as much gear for a mountain vacation as you do for a ski vacation, so that could be something else. We want them to enjoy the variety, the larger variety of activities that are available during the summer, as opposed to it being maybe a little more limited for some people in the winter. What are other feelings that we either want the guest to have or we want the guest to avoid for a summer vacation?
Well, when I go on vacation with my family in the summer, I want there to be water and it to be something we can do together that's easy. So if there's a pool close by or there's natural springs or something that is just cool and fun and relaxing.
Okay. A feeling of being truly served, pampered, taken care of. What can your products and services provide in that arena? Providing that feeling of spacious, that feeling of comfortable, that feeling of seclusion and privacy. So the feelings that we want guests to have, asking questions that get to those will help you. Keys to the sale questions. These are the questions that reveal things that have to happen in order to make the sale. So this could be hot buttons. Revealing other things that must happen might be having to adhere to a timeline. It might be I have to book my flight first. What are other things that have to happen in order to make a sale? Beyond just having the availability over the set of dates, what are other things that have to happen sometimes?
They have to speak with their significant other.
Yes, Jamie, right on. That's a key to the sale question that sometimes we forget to ask, or we don't gain that level of understanding of where all the decision makers are in the process. So We're taking your Salesforce process and blowing it up a little bit for just a second so that you're thinking more strategically about the questions you're asking. So we have our text chat box, right? We all have access to text chat, and I know Yolanda's been greeting, and we've had a little chit chat back and forth. So if you haven't yet used the chat box on the right, now's the time, because what we're going to do, hi Jessa, thanks. I like your smiling bird face, that's cute. So we're going to see if we can do rapid fire for as many of these problems and situation questions as we can. And we're going to put us on a timer. So we're going to have a 2-minute timer, and let's see how many problems and situation questions we can come up with. And if I see one that needs a tweak, I'm going to call it out and say, refine it so that it's getting at this implicit need or this explicit need. This is going to get your brain thinking a little bit about the questions that you're asking most of the time versus the questions that you need to be asking more of the time. So let's start with problems and situation questions. If you need food for thought, refer to your Salesforce process, or even just go back to things that you said on your most recent call earlier today. So 2 minutes starts now. Is there air conditioning? Do you need air conditioning? Yes, that would be a problem or situation question. Perfect. Are you bringing your kids with you? Perfect. That is getting at an implicit need. What are the ages of the children you are traveling with? Great, because this is giving me more of an implicit need as well. I'm trying to decide if I need a one level or multi-level. How many beds will you need? Yes. How are you getting to Steamboat? Perfect, because then I'm able to determine if they need ground transportation or if they're driving. Do they need parking spaces? You're kicking it already. We're only 40 seconds in. I need more. What type of decor is preferred? Jamie, this may start alluding to some envisioning questions, so I like it. Keep it more in the implicit or explicit needs. Mobility issues, perfect. Will you be renting a vehicle? Right. Would you need parking? Do you need a rollaway? Yes, yes, yes. Look at all of these problems and situation questions. Side note, 80% of the qualifying questions that most not savvy salespeople, meaning salespeople that are not like you, they do tend to ask mostly problem and situation questions. Is the view of priority? Do you need a rollaway? How are you guys coming? So instead of guys, use you. How are you coming here? Will you be flying or driving? Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. 15 seconds. One other good one. Do you know how to get here? Do you prefer to cook at home, or is close availability to restaurants important? Beautiful. All right, so notice a lot of these are closed-ended questions, and implicit or explicit needs are going to vary depending on the type of guest that it is as well. Okay, envisioning questions. Let's go for the next section here. These are the ones that reveal the desired experience. So 2 minutes on the clock. Let's go. Reveals the desired experience. What kind of view do you prefer? Okay, Kimberly, tighten that up a little bit. It's more about the desired experience. What kind of view do you prefer would be more of a problem or situation question. That would be an implicit or explicit need. Okay, what type of activities do you and your family like to do while on vacation? Nice. Are your kids interested in going on adventures? Yes. If so, what kind? May I suggest and recommend? Great. So we assume that guests want to come to our destination first sometimes, but the truth is, Jamie says, wow. Just flat out, wow. I don't even know where to begin.
Clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap.
Why, wow, Jamie?
Jamie's on mute.
These are These are a little more difficult. Everybody's quicker than I.
Quick draw McGraw. So
With you on that one.
give me another one here. Tell us about your last great ski vacation or your last great summer vacation or your last trip to Aspen. What was that like? How else would you like to spend your vacation with us? Nice, Jessa. Joan and Kate say, have you experienced mountain activities before? Fishing, hiking, biking? Guests don't know what they don't know. Beautiful. We have 15 seconds. One more good one. Envisioning, revealing the desired experience. Desired experience. Groceries. Groceries could be more of a problem or situation question, but do you consider cooking during your vacation part of relaxing for you or not? That might be more of the envisioning question I think you're looking for, Jessa. Do you feel more comfortable in a large condo with lots of space, or do you want to focus on spending more time out and about? Perfect. Have you experienced a private chef dinner before? Perfect. Because this is revealing the don't know what I don't know. We're starting to create the right strategic questions so that we're getting at the things that we want to sell that makes us awesome. Will you be needing extra spa services? Okay, Jessa. So I'm revealing a desired experience, right? I don't know if I need spa service. I might think in my head that spa is a nice to have, not a need to have. But if I'm saying that the desired experience is maybe to relax, then I might want to get them thinking about spa services. And tell me a little bit about where spa might fit into your vision for a relaxing vacation, or do you consider having a spa experience as part of a relaxing vacation for you? That may be the envisioning question that you have in there. All right. Would you like to be within walking distance of shops and restaurants? And do you want some good picturesque views of the mountains? Okay, so going back to that envisioning. Yeah, okay, I'll take it. So the difference between problems and situations and envisioning is it could seem subtle, and some of these may blur a little bit, but the deal is that for a problem and situation question, this is getting at more needs. Envisioning is getting at wants. And sometimes that's hard for us to think about because we're going, well, aren't all vacations wants and not needs? And my answer to you is no, especially when we're working with affluent travelers like this, they will clear out say, I need a vacation. And
It's a need.
They would say again?
Yep, I agree. It's definitely a need.
It's a need, definitely. So our level of need versus want is at a very different level, very different level. And your guests are willing to pay significantly more for the desired experience, again, as we said in webinar 1, if it's worth it, if we show that it's worth it, if we show the catered chalet experience is worth it. Okay, next section. These are tougher. Sorry, I went haywire. Advantage questions. These are the questions that reveal the feelings that the guest might want in the sale. So Kimberly, if we're thinking about picturesque views of the mountains, what are the feelings that we want a view to create? What do you think?
Can you give us an example, Erica?
Yeah, I can. So if I'm revealing the feelings that the guest wants in the sale, well, since you're coming up to the mountains, I'm sure you want to actually feel like you're in the mountains. So how important is a view to you? So I'm starting to impart that feeling conversation, impart that more right-brained synthesis of the information that I'm getting. So revealing the feelings that the guest wants in the sale. Are you looking for something convenient, or are you looking for something that's really private? Okay, so Yolanda has, is convenience to everything most important, or do you like to be quiet and off the beaten path? Yes. That's a good revealing the feelings. Okay, Jamie, so what's the feeling that we want to create with beautiful sunsets or sunrises?
Actually, I'm not sure.
You're on mute. Now you're not. You're good. Yes, reveals the feelings that the guest wants in this sale. So, we have to think of what would guests want from those beautiful sunsets or sunrises? Do you find it relaxing or part of a relaxing vacation to be able to see the sunrise or see the sunset, or is that a nice to have and not a need to have for you?
Okay, that makes
Jessa, are you able to go hiking and do extreme sports? So revealing the feelings that the guest wants in the sale might be, um, are you feeling like this whole vacation is going to be really active for all of you, or do you want this to be a go 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 kind of a week, or are you looking for something that's more, I just want to retreat in my condo and shut out the world kind of a week? Would you like a community pool and recreation area, or are you looking for the privacy of a secluded home? So are vacations a feeling of like social for you, or are they feeling secluded for you? Yeah, that is what you meant. I knew that, Jessica. You and your spouse are celebrating a wedding anniversary. Congratulations. How important is a romantic, intimate setting? Yes. Or are you more activity joiners? Do you picture the family gathering for cards after dinner? Okay. So is this, I love where you're going with that, because it's getting at that feeling of togetherness, of we never get to do this 360 days out of the year. We have the games, we just don't pull them out of the box.
And I was going for, like, do they need a large gathering space as a priority?
Good, good. So advantage questions are a little tougher, and sometimes it's better to think of things we want our guests to avoid. So are you hoping to avoid the hassle of having to take stairs all the time? Are you looking for something that wouldn't require a car? Because that can also be a real hassle sometimes. So think of ways sometimes for these advantage questions that you're looking to avoid pain for your guests too. So are you hoping to find something spacious and comfortable? Jessa, there are a lot of fun events and activities for you and your spouse, as well as your kids. We offer free concerts right outside the ski hill. Are you interested in participating in those types of activities, or are you more interested in relaxing yoga by the mountain kind of a week? All right, I'll take it. So feelings, feelings, feelings. I like it. All right, last one, keys to the sale. These reveal those things that have to happen in order, I am just going crazy here, have to happen in order to make the sale. It's not your eyes, everybody. It's totally all me. All me. So yeah, reveals the things that must happen to make the sale. So think about keys to the sale as being committal issues. They could be things that unless I get my, have you yet reserved your flights? That could be one. See if you can each come up with one good one. Keys to the sale. Do you need to be able to split credit card charges between you and your sister? Good. Have you spoken to your group about how you're splitting the costs? Do you need transportation from the airport? How committed are you to the idea of having a vacation in Steamboat? Or is your sister still thinking about Vail? That could be a key to the sale question that tells you that you really need to ramp up your value proposition or not. Okay, so keys to the sale question are really about what might be blocks to closing this particular piece of business, and that's why those become particularly important for us. Good. So I like the examples here. what I'd like you to do as part of your post work is to at least capture a couple of these so that you're feeling comfortable in the strategy of the questions that you're asking. That way we don't get into this routine of asking the same questions of all guests all the time, because if you do, you might end up getting a no answer. Not a no like saying no to it, but you're not getting the quality of answer that you're really looking for. So hopefully this got your juices flowing a little bit about different kinds of questions you could be asking. Let's take those now and say, all right, great. What do I do with that? How do we then take that into making some actual value occur for our guests? So if we go back to the idea of the mountain, if you remember, what we talked about was building that strong base, right? Because if I don't know, like, and trust you, then I'm not going to want to buy from you. And if I feel like you know, like, and trust me, then I know that you're going to be able to ask the right questions, collaborate with control here in the base so that you're matching the product to the caller. You're finding the best fit option within your destination or within your division. So with that in mind, we have this idea of now is the time that you get to put your right brain skills and your left brain skills together to create the best fit lodging option. And what that means is that you're going to be benefit selling features as benefits. So I have this glass here, it's a glass of juice, but it gets us at least thinking about the difference between the two. Features. Features are those concrete things about anything that make it what it is. So in this case, let's talk about a glass. All right. What are some of the physical features of a glass? Just shout them out. Physical features.
It's yellow or orange.
Okay, the liquid is, tell me about the glass itself. It is
Clear.
It's clear.
Transparent.
Okay, good. Another physical feature is,
It's breakable.
say that again, Jamie?
It's about 8 ounces.
It's about 8 ounces. Good. Give me another one. Kimberly, what did you say?
I said it was clear in the beginning.
You said clear. Okay.
Round.
It's breakable.
It's round. It's cylindrical. Yes, Jessa, good. Give me another one. What is it made of?
Glass.
It's made of glass. Perfect. Feature, 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 feature. So features, think of it in terms of your particular lodging option, okay? Think of it in terms of Vail Spa. What are the features of Vail Spa, Jamie?
Put me on the spot like that.
And go. No, I'm kidding. You're a condominium. You have a pool.
Yeah.
You have
We have spa, we have full spa services.
full spa services. Another feature. You have an elevator. You have
We have multiple elevators.
multiple elevators. You have parking.
You have Wi-Fi.
We do offer parking. That is true.
You're on the bus route.
We are on the bus route. That's
Great.
correct.
All right. So what I just did with you is I feature dumped. I went bleh with all of the different features that I could think of in a 30-second span. So does that sell the product to you?
Not necessarily, but it's helpful.
Yes. Right. It isn't that you don't need them. You do need them. What you need more, though, is the so what associated with it, right? So what? And so what changes depending on who I am. So if I'm a family coming to Vail Spa, then my so what is going to be very different than if I'm coming with 4 couples to Vail Spa. So what are the benefits, back to our glass, what are the benefits or the so what or the advantages of having a glass? Give
It
it to me.
holds your liquid. It's easier to drink.
Yes. What else?
Reusable.
Reusable. Great. Another benefit.
Wow.
It's clear, so
You can see how much is left.
perfect. It's portable, so
You can take it with you.
You can take it with you. So here's where it gets fun, is then you think about different people, right? You have your family versus your executive retreat. So your glass has benefit to the person who's thirsty, which is different than the benefit that a glass has to people that are celebrating a special occasion, which has different value to somebody that can't find anywhere else to store their belongings at that time. And hey, a glass works pretty well when you don't have anything else and you don't want to put your toothbrush on the disgusting sink. And if you are an artist, that glass has value because you can break it up and create something pretty amazing. So who knew that a glass was that special, right? So this is where we all get to create our own flavor of what we have to offer. And this is where then we have underground heated parking here at Vail Spa, so you can what?
That you don't have to worry about paying for parking.
You don't have to worry about paying for parking. Here at Snowmass, go ahead. Say again.
Oh, sorry. You can also rent a vehicle without worrying about it.
Good. Snowmass Mountain Lodging is an ideal choice for families here in Snowmass because
we do have garage parking, and you don't have to, you'll pay just a little bit extra, but you don't have to shovel your car out of the snow in the winter.
And we also,
there's free parking everywhere. That's just right next to where the base village is.
Okay. So give me another benefit of Snowmass Mountain Lodging. We also offer complimentary access to
the base village itself and free parking, as well as restaurants, because we are currently, there's a lot of opportunities here where Snowmass Mountain Lodging is, because we are currently making base village, where it is located, as the center of Snowmass.
All right. So our location is ideal for families because we are literally at the base area of Snowmass. So especially if you have little people, we're the best place to go. You literally walk right out the door and you're only steps away from the base of the ski area. Am I getting it about right, Jessa?
Yes, it's actually right where the lifts are at already.
Okay, so the benefit to somebody that has little people is?
Shorter distance of walking.
Yeah.
Because I know that feeling.
Yeah. So again, this could be an advantage to the sale. You want me to avoid the hassle. You want to prevent the pain point for me of that hassle. So getting this idea of creating value is key. You all have different value points. What we do know, though, about the type of customer that you all serve, being mountain destination travelers, is that they all have very similar sort of hot buttons that they find appealing. And so what I asked you to do on page 8 is come up with some of those. So we're going to kind of put those into some real structure here for you in just a second. When I'm thinking about how I sell my product, and on page 7, we sell it based.
Presentation.
Oh, yep, thanks. I think of a few different elements. So if you go to page 7 of your workbook, it looks like the inverted triangle. Sorry, page 7 or page 8, Jamie? What did you say? 8?
8, yep.
8, okay. So this inverted triangle is, I think, a great way of visualizing how we are supposed to create value. So we use this idea of features, the benefit, which gives us the so what, and we sell it on a few different levels. We have to sell what their family experience might want to be here. We sell them on the benefits of choosing Moving Mountain Chalets, or choosing Vail Spa, or choosing, et cetera, et cetera. Why should I secure my reservation directly with you? What are the standard benefits of booking directly with your particular lodging company? You should be promoting a package if that's available. And then also selling them on maybe 3 activities, or this could be where the catered chalet experience comes in, or this could be where complimentary, upgraded transportation, or maybe even travel insurance. Those add-ons that you're able to add to your booking, to your reservation, those might come in here. Selling one best fit lodging option, you should have qualified well enough by now that you can give that best fit and sell your features and benefits. And then you're doing a trial close. You might use testimonials or stories, or you might recommend personally and ask, how does that sound to you? How do you feel about that? If you're not selling the difference, they're not going to get the difference. Guests don't know what they don't know. And if you leave them to their own devices, they're going to base it all on price. So on the following page, I asked you all to think about your own respective products and give me some benefit statements, or give me some maybe things that separate you, so that we could start crafting something that's very unique to you. So one from each destination at least. Tell me, what makes Steamboat so special? Overall resort. Steamboat special because?
Our unique location, a little bit further off the beaten path.
Okay. How about Snowmass? What makes Snowmass so special?
We're a family-oriented environment, and there is a free bus from Snowmass to Aspen and back.
Okay, wait a minute, but Steamboat, you have that too, don't you?
A free bus?
Do you have a free bus?
Yes. We have, is that what you said? Sorry, I couldn't really understand her. Were you talking about like our shuttle service?
Yes. And are you family oriented as well?
Oh yeah, we have our ski area is well known around the country for our incredible kids ski program.
And isn't Snowmass as well, Jessa?
Yes.
Ha ha ha. So, I'm sorry. Sounds like I'm trying to set up a mud fight, doesn't it?
A
little bit. So, and I'm not doing this to be sassy. I'm doing this to point out something, because we all think that we're unique and special and different, but you really need to dig and say, no, for real, what makes us truly unique and special and different beyond just where we are? Because if we're only playing with geography, then a guest is looking at it only based on price. So unless I have some sort of affinity in my heart, I love Vail. I cannot imagine myself going anywhere but Vail. You will lose to price. And it will be just enough to woo a guest away from Vail if the prices become too ridiculous, too outlandish, too much. So what is something you can boast about your destination that nobody else can? Anyone?
Vail's the largest.
Okie dokie. Got that. So why would I want to go to someplace that's the largest? That sounds too big.
There's more terrain to do multiple activities.
Okay. All right.
Especially in the summertime, I guess.
Especially in the summertime. Okay.
I guess here for the Grand, we are like a Gold Star resort, and being so small, we have that closeness with our guests, making them feel more special, especially on our location, especially on the summer activities, including like the soccer fields. We are literally the closest resort to the soccer fields in the amphitheater, or the closest condominium. So I guess that's what makes us a little bit more special than other condominiums and buildings that the guests might like.
Okay. So I like where you've separated yourself a little bit, and you're selling the Wren and the value that the Wren has to offer. Okay, perfect. How about, is there something else that no one else could say that is true about how easy it is to get to you? Getting there is so easy because we offer
CMEs from both Eagle Airport and Denver Airport,
which is kind of a sister company of yours. And because of the fact that you have such close contacts with them, we're in very close contact end to end with our guests. Oh yeah, well, Moving Mountain Chalets offers transportation as well, don't they?
We do, but we also have, so you don't have to drive up here from Denver Airport. We have direct flights into Hayden, which is 22 miles away from I don't know, half a dozen or 8 major cities around the country.
Perfect. Perfect. Now, CME can also access Eagle Vale as well as Denver. And what's nice about that is it offers your guests more flexibility. So if they want to shop around flights, they can find a way to get there from multiple locations. So these are the kinds of things that are going to fall into these kind of peach boxes. You need to really think about what makes you different, what makes you unique and special. So in any of these boxes, share with me maybe one thing that you and your team came up with that you know for sure no one else can say that about you.
Are you talking about full service, or
Any
are
of
we still
them.
on getting?
Yeah, any of
Oh,
them. It could be full service, ideal location, excellent value, any of these.
we do offer full service. We have on-call massage therapists that can use our massage room. We have also both indoor and outdoor pool and hot tub, which nobody else does, at least around here.
Right. We offer the most unique spa experience we offer one of the best value spa experiences here in Lions Head because we offer an indoor and outdoor swimming pool that's newly renovated and gorgeous. And also we have treatment rooms for on-call spa staff. So we can arrange a massage for you before you even get here. And you could make a whole day of just chilling out by the pool and having a massage and then having a barbecue dinner later on. It's beautiful, and people are just loving our new environment here that we've renovated, however you want to say that. But that's something nobody else can say.
True.
How about at the Ren? Anything that you know nobody else can say besides what you said, Eman?
I would say on Tuesdays, I don't know if any other places do it, but we have a barbecue for the guests. In the summer and in the winter, they have cheese and wine.
I love that. And that would be something that I'd want to know. So instead of just telling me about the feature, tell me the so what. So what's the so what to that?
I guess it's to get to know each other more, to get the not try to make the guest feel like just like a guest, but actually try to make them feel like family. Like, hey, we want to know you, we want to know that you're here, get you involved. I don't know, like trying to get them like more close to us.
Okay. So I think it's to feel more connected with the community and with the Ren family. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes, like with our guests. Like, for example, we all do this free cookout for them. They bring their dishes, their potlucks, and they get involved. And many of these guests get to know each other, especially because they come every year. So they start to get a closeness, a friendship, a family-oriented experience. So, and that's what they like because they sometimes asking for it. Is the wine and cheese party coming in? Is so and so coming in? So we like that. We like that closeness.
That's really
Not
neat.
just among here to us, but among the guests as well.
Okay, so that sounds rather unique to you and probably something that if I was calling to even just be curious about making reservations, I think I'd be really interested to know that because I think it's especially important to people that do like to hang out with people, people who are looking for family fun. So I would definitely put that kind of up there in terms of things that you talk about when you're selling the Ren.
Yeah, totally. We even have it on our welcome package.
Good. So you're going to be taking some of these ideas for benefit statements in your work between now and Thursday, and you're going to be building this into an entire kind of an entire experience, so that you're getting the idea of how you create value, or you're focusing on the exercise of actually creating value. So let me see if I can pull this up and show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is going to look kind of ugly, but what you're going to see here, and Jessa, this is an example that might be very relevant to you. So we're going to send you this diagram of an inverted triangle. And this is a good example that someone had done in the past. But I think it's going to give you the idea of selling the destination first and then selling Snowmass Mountain Lodging and then selling activities or things that connect you to the destination and then selling the best fit lodging option. And then finally doing that trial close or maybe even just going for that flat out direct close with this. I thought this was a really good example. So this is what you'll be doing between now and Thursday for your own particular lodging option, whatever you do sell there. And so I want you to take the time to actually put this together. I'll share this one with you as an example in your work between now and then. And I'm also going to share with you some of these slides that might give you even some more examples, so that way you can see how this might look for some other different kinds of organizations. So here, for example, this would be for Beaver Creek Mountain Lodging by East West. So if they're selling Beaver Creek, they're talking about the experience for families, where Beaver Creek ranks, talking about those advantage statements about ease and comfort, convenience, memories, etc. Selling East West Destination Hospitality. I did it again. What's going on here? Sorry. A little crazy. There we are. East West Destination Hospitality in this market, the premier authority on lodging in Beaver Creek. They're destination experts. They offered complimentary access to the exclusive Alegria Spa. Best fit accommodation option could be a Village Hall 2-bedroom residence. And here's the why and the so what. And then taking that into a trial close. Our families rave about them. And last year we had a family just like yours. So we'll give you a few examples so that you can put one together that's very specific for you. I'd like you to pick something that you get often, but maybe one that you don't think about as often as you should, a type of a guest. So Jessa, what might that be for you? Type of a guest or a profile of a reservation.
Sorry, what was the question? What type of guest
Yes, you're going to be putting together something like this for
Okay.
your own organization. I want you to tackle something that maybe you get often and you really want to crisp up how you create value for that particular audience or that particular market. What might be one?
At the top of my head right now.
Yeah, I'll give you one. How about you take 3 couples?
3 couples.
Yep. You'll have 3 couples coming from the Front Range for a summer vacation.
I guess.
You won't have to do it right now. This will be your homework between now and Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay,
you don't have to have the answers right now. But by
I was
Thursday.
kind of like, my brain was like scattering all the guest names in my head, kind of like a computer.
Oh, it's okay. Did your left brain go into overdrive?
Yes, a little bit.
Got
It
it.
overheated.
Kimberly and Eman, I'm going to ask you to tackle a renting guest. So this is not a typical, I come every year and hang out and bring a crock pot of baked beans to the barbecue kind of a person. This will be somebody who found you online and was curious because they really liked your location. This is a family of 4, okay?
Family of 4, perfect.
Yes. And Joan and Kate, I would like you to take a executive retreat coming for the summer. And this executive retreat is going to be for only 12 people and spouses. So you may be looking at more than one home, depending on how your configuration is and what you think is best fit. But I'm really going to ask you to be thinking of why would Steamboat be an attractive destination and what do you have to offer here at Moving Mountains that really sets you apart when hosting and serving the executive treat market?
We're on it.
Good. I thought you would be.
That was perfect. Actually, Kate was hoping that she could focus on corporate retreats because it's something that's slightly out of her wheelhouse. So she was really excited to hear you say executive retreat.
Really? Well, fabulous.
Yeah.
I'm glad I delivered in my own feeble brain.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen too often. I feel like as I get older, my left and right brains actually start to separate instead of come closer together. So this is good for me.
I barely have any brains left, so I don't know what to tell you. I'm in trouble.
All right, so we will make sure that the post-event recap includes your prep for Thursday. It also recaps your Oh, Jamie, sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me.
what about me, man? So I want you to do 3 couples for a Front Range summer vacation as well.
Perfect.
Let's say 4th of July. How's that?
All right. Sounds wonderful.
Doesn't it though? I wish I was going. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, my challenge to you is going to be to start being strategic with your qualifying. See if you can get at least one good qualifying question for each of the 4, the problems and situations, envisioning, advantages, keys to the sale. See if you can try to squeeze that into every call and get beyond what are your dates and how many are in your party. Also, when it comes to creating value, see if you can start really thinking about what sets you apart and avoid the temptation to feature dump. So we'll see you next Thursday. You know where to find us. I'm eager for this coming Thursday as well. And if you need some more information, don't hesitate to let us know, but be on the lookout in your inbox for your recap, okay?
All right. Thank you so much, Erica.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys. See you Thursday.
Thank you.
Expel.